trust that they're going to live in a safe society. Over my 5-year period in office, we got British experts to come here to advise on police reform, security sector reform. We reformed the Guyana Defence Force. We increased the training, the equipment, and both the Army and the police were onto a trajectory of development, of professionalism. And you will not be able to secure this country unless you have professional defense and security forces. We reduced piracy to almost zero. In the past, under the PPP, almost every week you see bodies floating up on the foreshore, fishermen attacked. I personally went to interview some of those fishermen, and we brought piracy down to almost zero. We have more maritime patrols, we have aviation patrols. Along the border with Venezuela, we created special operations, Operation Armadillo, to prevent unwanted migrants from coming over, sindicatos, people coming, raiding indigenous communities. We brought all that to an end. We put mounted troops, mounted police in the Rupununi. Have horses there for the first time in decades, so that if you don't have gasoline, well, the horses don't need gasoline, the horses can eat grass, but the patrols are being done. We used to have airplanes landing with cocaine in Rupununi. All that has been brought to an end. So a reformed police force is essential to making Guyana safe. A reformed defense force is essential to making Guyana safe. I also created a National Anti-Narcotics Agency, NANA, N-A-N-A. I created an NISA, the National Intelligence and Security Agency. Every week we met and they briefed me about what is taking place in this country. Now, soon as certain people re-enter the country, we see kilos and kilos of cocaine being shipped out again. They didn't even wait, for the new president to be sworn in. But the old boys from the Troubles, the old boys from the years, the Jagdeo years, are in business again, So we are in for some difficult time internationally and locally. And I tell you, if we are not careful, this country is going to go down the same route that it went down during the Jagdeo years, when 1,431 murders. If you go to Bartica, you see these ugly monuments. Go to Iflare, you see the monument to the number of policemen killed during the Jagdeo years. Those two monuments are Jagdeo's monuments to show Guyanese for generations to come what murderous violence took place between 2000 and 2010.
With the fear, again unfair, how do you feel about the judicial system with fear of people's jobs being threatened?
Naturally, my party, the PNC, and my partnership, the APNU, will give support to persons who are unlawfully removed from their positions. People have contracts. They're not party hacks. These are professional people who have jobs to perform. And we will give them every support. We hope that the Guyana Public Service Union, we hope that civil society takes action on this unwarranted assault on innocent public servants. Being a member of a party, being a voter in election does not make you unsuitable for employment in the country of your birth. And I want to hear the voices of civil society, Chambers of Commerce and the Human Rights Association, to support the people who are being unlawfully removed from their positions. I don't want to comment on the judiciary, but the judiciary will necessarily have to be approached by people who feel themselves victimized or discriminated against, so that their rights could be upheld. And I expect the judiciary to behave in a professional way. When I was president, I always respected the decisions of the judiciary. If I didn't agree, I went to the higher court, and once the higher court ruled, that was it. I always abided by the Constitution. I abided by the final declaration of the Commission. People doubted, people called me all sorts of names. But when the declaration was made on Sunday, the 2nd of August, I abide by the declaration. Even though I will protest, I will go to the courts, I will have a petition. But I respect the courts, and I expect that the courts will give protection to the citizens of this country who are being discriminated against and who are being affected, who have been affected by this spate of firing, by this PPP firing squad.
7 REOs, regional executive officers, were fired. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, that is painful to me because I believe that in recent history of Ghana, no one has done as much for regionalism as I have done. I launched 2 local government elections. The PPP was in power for 23 years, and for 20 of those years, PPP could not hold local government elections. I got into office in May 2015, and by March 2016, less than a year later, we had local government elections. Then again in 2018, we had local government elections. My party, my partnership, my coalition didn't do well, but it was the law. It was the constitution. So when I think about regionalism, when I think about those REOs, I think about the efforts APNU made, PNC made, to have local government elections and to build up the local government system. Treat it with respect. We established, as I said a few minutes ago, 4 tongues. Because this country cannot be developed with a few coastal regions. All the regions have to be developed. And the police divisions have been modified so that the police are not any longer concentrated in what we call A division, B division, C division along the coast. Barimo Waini is now a police division. Kuyuni Mazruni is now a police division. Potaro Separoni is now a police division. Rupununi is now a police division. So you need REOs, confident, committed, qualified REOs who are going to administer these regions, these new regions. So when you move them, you know, I'm worried because it means that there is no continuity, and it means that the PPP now will be tempted to put hacks who are not competent and not qualified and not committed to the development of those regions. I launched what is called a conference of local democratic organs to bring REOs together, to bring regional chairmen together, to bring central government together, so that all levels of administration could work together. The national level at the Ministry of Communities, the regional level at the RDCs, and the local level at the NDCs and the municipalities. And this is testament to the support and to the importance of regions. And the removal of those REOs is not merely a slap in the face of the people who are administering those regions. It will cause problems because you now have a disruption in the regional system. Instead of having smooth delivery of services to the regions, there will now be a disruption. Look at what APNU achieved. We were putting passport offices in the regions. Most of the regions now have regional public broadcasting stations. There are now 2 stations or 3 stations in Rupununi alone. There's a station in Mabroom, a station in Bartica, a station at Madia, a station in Toriala. So we were regionalizing this country, and in so doing, we were erasing the equality between coastland and hinterland. A person could stay on the APNU. A person could stay in Lethem, stay in Linden and get a passport, register his business. Before that, no, he had to go to Anne Regina to register a business. He had to come to town. I used to see people there from 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock waiting for a passport. So you have to build a system administered by competent REOs. And this again, I cannot imagine how the PPP has made so many mistakes in 12 days. It's frightening. What is going to happen, over the next 12 weeks if this is how they started off? If they had a plan, if they had a manifesto, if they had a concept of development, we'd be more We say, yes, this is good or bad, but there's no plan. This is dangerous, like going in a minibus and the driver is unqualified. Up to now, I cannot understand how, after 12 days, there's no Minister of Finance. We, as you know, the APNU was prevented from having a budget by the ruling of the Caribbean Court of Justice in July last year. Normally, I would go to Parliament in October and November. That's when Jackie would bang on his desk. And remember that scene? But now, there's no desk to bang on. There's no budget. You don't know what's taking place.
A quick follow-up. You mentioned local government election. Recently, the new local government minister, Nigel Darmlal, said local government elections is foremost on the agenda, given the fact that we saw those boxes opened at Artichon Convention Center and what they revealed. Will you be pushing for a clean list of electors?
You asked me a very important question. The answer is yes. We realized that in 2019, we ought not to go into the elections with a voters list of 661,000 in a population of 750,000. That was a recipe for mischief. And only the PPP was pushing for the cessation of the house-to-house bill, and we wanted it continued. Unfortunately, the Election Commission brought it to an end in August 2019. Guyana will be in trouble if we go back into any form of election, local or general and regional, without a new list. We are pushing for that already because the anomalies that we discovered, the abuses, the irregularities, had their genesis in the corrupted list, the bloated list. So yes, we will be pushing for a new list, and they have to start them because local government elections are only 16 months away. They're due in December 2021. So my partnership, we're already preparing for local government elections. I hope Mr. Darmlal is too, because we're not going to go into that election with a rotten list. That is where the mischief took place. That's where the dead people who were voting, that's where the migrants, all them packed up in the bloated list. Look at the number of people who actually voted compared with the so-called OLE. And you see that there is a whole play field of mischief.
We have just about a few seconds remaining, but I'd like to get this in quickly. Over 750,000 people in Ghana, 217,000 voted for you. What do you have to say to them?
Well, that's not quite 750,000, but what I would say is this. We work hard to deliver to the people of this country quality government. I believe that our first 5 years in office were successful. We had a lot of initiatives and we delivered a quality performance to the people of our country. We expected to be given the opportunity to continue that program. I would say do not lose hope, do not lose faith. Our goals remain the same, and we will return to government and we will deliver the quality of life you and your children expect. We will make Guyana a safe place, we will make Guyana an education nation, and we hope that once our petition is heard, we will get the opportunity to use that same petroleum money to give you a good quality of life.
One more. COVID-19 and the Cultural Center. It has been 12 days since they've been in office. Minister of Public Health, or former Minister of Public Health, Walter Lawrence, made a great impact on the management of COVID-19. What do you have to say about hosting such an event in such confined spaces?
It is unfortunate that Guyana had to see that performance. It's unfortunate that already, after 12 days, 2 ministers have already been tested positive. Months ago, my cabinet started to have video cabinet meetings by video conferencing. And to see that scene, I don't know if they feel they're bulletproof, but it is stupid to tell the general public to practice social distancing, to avoid crowds, and then do the opposite. So let us understand that you cannot disrupt government the way the PPP is attempting to disrupt government at all levels. They try to change everything at the same time. And that is a bitter lesson for the Guyanese people. I don't wish anybody ill, but the PPP must understand that government is a continuous process, and the people of Guyana expect leadership. And what we saw there was not leadership. What we saw there is disregard for the common good.
Thank you, Mr. Granger, and thank you to the viewing public, and join us next Friday for another edition of The Public Interest.